From Plymouth State University, PM Weather with student meteorologist Eric Jean.
Good Tuesday evening. I'm PSU student meteorologist Eric Jean. Welcome to this edition of PM Weather. Currently out there we have a temperature of 29 degrees, a dew point of 16 degrees, which gives us a relative humidity of 56%. The winds are southwest at 8 miles per hour, and we have a sea level pressure at 29.88 inches and falling slowly. Looking at the Plymouth Almanac for February 9, 2010, we see today's high was at 32 degrees, which is right around our normal high of 31 degrees. This morning's low is 18 degrees, which is a bit milder than our normal low of 5 degrees, and we've had no precipitation. Taking a look at the sun and moon data, tonight's sunset is at 5:09 p.m. with a moon that's 20% illuminated and waning. We have a sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:53 in the morning. Taking a look at the regional conditions, we see much of Maine and New Hampshire and clear. Maine is in the lower to mid 40s, 44 in Portland right now. But we start to get in the clouds as we head a little bit to the west and upstate New York, associated with that low pressure system that will start to move in here tomorrow with a chance of some snow. Not much, but we should see some. Taking a look at those U.S. surface temperatures, we see northeast is pretty much stuck in the 30s to 20s. Southeast is in the 50s, 60s, and 70s right now. And as we head to the Midwest, we can start to see cold air starting to filter in from Canada into the Dakotas, where we are in single digits, but teens and 20s throughout much of the Midwest. The Pacific Northwest is in the 30s and 40s right now. And taking a look at the current surface analysis, we can see that we have a high pressure system that will continue to move to the northeast as the storm system continues to push off the coastline and up the coastline. And we also have a low pressure system starting to move its way into the California coastline. Again, over time, we see that low pressure system move up the coast. The best chance of heavy snow tomorrow will be southern New England. Central and northern New England will see lighter snow, and our low pressure system out here will be over southern Arizona. Taking a look at the U.S. radar satellite composite, you can see that storm system down here in the southeast continuing to gather strength and move its way off the coastline. That'll push its way up into this area. You can also notice that the clouds are continuing to increase throughout much of the northeast right now, and we also have that storm system out there in California. Taking a look at tonight's low temperatures, we see much of the northeast will be stuck in the teens and 20s, 30s throughout the Carolinas, and 50s down in the southern Florida. Again, the cold spot will be that filtering air from Canada into the Dakotas and Minnesota for overnight tonight, and we also have 30s and 40s throughout much of the California and Pacific Northwest. Looking at tomorrow's high temperatures, we see 20s and 30s through much of New England with snow in the area, and those 20s extend all the way back into the Great Lakes, and to the southeast we start to see some moderation in the Carolinas, 40s, 50s, and even 60s in the southern Florida. We see that cold air still filtering in, teens tomorrow in the Minnesota and Dakotas, and in the Pacific Northwest we'll see 40s and 50s, even some 60s in southern Arizona, and 40s for the southern plains. Tomorrow night's low temperatures we'll see teens and 20s through much of New England, and that continues all the way down the coastline till you get to Florida, where it'll be in the 30s. Still kind of cool for them, but again that cool spot continues to shift a little bit more to the east now, negative teens in Minnesota and negative single digits, while we stay in the 30s and 40s throughout much of the Pacific coastline. Taking a look at your precipitation forecast for tonight, we see 90% chance through much of the mid-Atlantic and into the southern part of the northeast, and that'll continue to shift eastward through the day tomorrow. Southern New England has the best chance at any shot of snow from this. Again, northern New England still has the chance. It'll be lighter in nature and they won't get as much. And with that storm system off to the southwest, we see a 50% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow night, that storm exits off of the New England coastline, and we'll see precipitation ending through probably about midnight tomorrow night. So your PSU forecast for tonight, the clouds will increase with a low of 20 degrees with a wind out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow those will experience cloudy conditions with a light snow developing in the afternoon. A dusting to 2 inches is possible by the overnight hours with a high of 29 degrees and a wind out of the northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, any snow showers will end. We'll have clearing skies with a low of 18 degrees and a north wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And your PSU extended forecast showing clearing skies for Thursday with a morning low of 18 and a high of 29. We'll have cool conditions on Friday with a high of 27 after a morning low of 16. And seasonable conditions on Saturday with a high of 30 and a low of 14. Thank you for joining me tonight, Tuesday night, right here on Channel 20 for PM Weather. Remember, you can join me or any of my colleagues right here every weekday night at 7, 10, and 11. Have a good evening.